Don't watch that. Watch this.
Well, what do you mean by this? Oh, well, this is my channel. Welcome to it. And if you guys do really enjoy it, you can go in, you can click the share button. That really, really helps the algorithm. Go to Twitter, Facebook, Blogger. I don't even know what the crap that is. Reddit, all the stuff. So if you do love that, we also have a join button. You go in, you click a little join button. $4.99 a month. You get all the cool, awesome emojis. Now, enjoy the video. I've put it off as long as I can. Suppose I have to watch Lower Decks. Hello everyone, I am Mecha Random of 42. I don't want to watch this because they're not fixing anything. Like, the whole entire premise of the show is flawed, and I can't just pretend it's not Star Trek when it's giving me Star Trek races, characters, names, aliens, species, all of these things. When you're giving me all these Star Trek elements, right? When you're giving me the Star Trek universe, I can't just pretend it's not supposed to be. I also can't pretend that I am somebody who is fond of the whole Rick and Morty style animation at this age. Maybe 20 years ago I might have been okay with it. Not so much now. And I guess I have to I do have to say this. It starts off Star Trek almost. It is like a Saturday Night Live parody. You know, you got the ship coming in. You got what is this? The captain's log, something. You got a captain's log even, for crying out loud. You have a captain's log. You're telling me Star Trek-y sort of things. But then we get into the immediate problem, which is our main character here, which is all right, so they've got this ship that they find there's some weird thing. It's kind of like the Genesis device. Basically, they've got something that can regenerate and terraform a planet and revitalize. It's kind of like the stupid spore thing from Discovery. Is that what this is in relation to? Is this the spore thing where they had nothing and nothing happening in that first season, and then it's just blah, boring, mumble, and then, oh yeah, we can just plant all these spores in this planet and it can just respore it in like a minute. Is that what this is? Oh, please don't. Please tell me it's not. But the issue is that when you go right to this boardroom, okay, so we have that. The second we get into this, it's not the boardroom, it's the briefing room. Everything is Star Trek except for this main character here, this Michael Burnham number 2. The second version of Michael Burnham that we have. She is disrespectful, rude. If you don't want to be there, there's a million people who do, Missy, and just because your mother's the captain, you deserve special treatment? You know she's just gonna get promoted to... See, here you go. Let's take a quick look at this here. Oh, I will commend this. It looks canonically correct. The Tellarite looks like a Tellarite. The L-cars look like L-cars. It looks like it should, except for the attitude and the structure and the character.
Sleeping, Ensign?
Nah, I slept great. I mean, maybe too good, honestly.
Just distribute the pads.
Stuff.
Yeah, just distribute the pads. So she's sleeping. Just the expression. Just the expression. I mean, seriously, did you just really want to be compared? And I'm knocking everything over. It's okay. It's just a stack of video games from Japan. That's all that is. I'm just knocking over my blasters and my... Actually, that's Busters. Michael Burnham. It's just Michael Burnham again, isn't it? It's the same character. Don't make an exact same character that knows everything is the bestest thing ever, but is insufferable if you don't want us to compare her to the last time we had it. It's the same character. And guess what? It would be a problem if this were a white guy. This would be a problem if this were a green chick. This would be a problem if it were a Klingon or a Ferengi or a Bolian. Any species, okay? Any gender, any. It could be one of the binars. It could be a non-binary binar, for crying out loud. It would be an issue. It's the attitude, and when you look at it, and here, I have to stop it and pause it every 5 seconds because copyright. Also, bite my copyright, CBS. I know you've been a little upset with people who are critical of this. This is why we don't use entire huge amounts of footage, and we break it up with stuff like this.
Please like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, keep your comments to yourself.
Quit brain bombing. See, now I gotta get the writing crop. I mean, it was gonna happen sooner or later. Anyway. This, just the attitude. I would get fired for if I had an attitude like this. Oh, and but by the way, this is actually kind of cool here. The Star Trek stuff that's happening outside of these characters would be okay, and I'm giving it some credit for that. But the problem is, you got people who would never ever be allowed into Starfleet here. This slam. Slam. Just the attitude. Do you not want to be there? All right, pick it up and do it again. This time without the attitude, because you can just shove that attitude up your little plank of wood. She's not even a plank of wood. I mean, she emotes. The actor seems sweet. I have nothing against her personally, but please write characters that aren't insulting. Don't write the only competent characters, you know, as like this, because you know what happens? Then your audience, half of your audience flips out because people get critical of these characters, and they can see these characters in ways that the rest of us really, really don't, because, you know, we've evolved past that, because this is Star Trek after all, for crying out loud. This is Star Trek, people!
Open your mind.
We've evolved past all of this stuff, and every time I see this modern-day presentism inserted, and I know my viewers don't really do this, but it's a lot of the people who are really, really supportive of the new Trek, a lot of the people who are like, yes, activism first, except for the stories that were already like that. I need to go to my happy place, I think.
What are they? Why are they? What do they mean?
You probably heard me taking deep breaths. I didn't mute myself. I didn't cut. This is all one live take thing. I need to not have Star Trek make me mad that I'm watching something that is supposed to be Star Trek, because you're telling me it's Star Trek. You're giving me everything else Star Trek. This is visually canonical, mostly, for the most part. Now can we take some characters and insert it? Because, you know, I wouldn't mind an animated Star Trek. I'm not a big fan of animated stuff, but one of my favorite TV shows of all time is Corner Gas, and the animated version of that is wonderful and just as good as the regular live action version. And they probably did that just because the rest of the cast got a little older, and one of the lead actress who played Emily Roy had passed away, sadly, and, you know, it was easier to recast voice-wise. Might be part of it, might be a lot cheaper. I think they might have demolished some of the sets. The point is, I have no problem with watching Corner Gas animated, because it's just a continuation of Corner Gas, right? See the problem here? Star Trek the Animated Series, which I have on DVD, and actually really, really like, is just a continuation of Star Trek. And here's where I start bouncing all the time here. Because you just have a continuation of Star Trek, and that's fine to have a continuation of Star Trek. This is not a continuation of Star Trek in any sense that these people would not just be completely removed and declared incompetent. You know, this is Second Contact. This is your Second Contact ship. These people are supposed to be all of the more boring, less dangerous, less risky, less reckless people, right? These are the people who have to be diplomats. This is when you send in Dr. Weir. That's a Stargate reference, and I'm a huge Stargate Atlantis fan. This is when you send in your team of specialists, scientists, sociologists, psychologists, ship's counselors, negotiators, people who are there setting up second contacts, setting up trade, setting up treaties, setting up Federation relations, setting up what would be, and I don't think this episode's going into any of that, but the last one was, if this is the ship that they send in for, like, the second contacts and the ship that they send in for the B levels of stuff, those are your boring, generic, run-of-the-mill specialists who aren't out there trying to get promoted every 5 seconds, probably. You know, I mean, yeah, you're going to have some of them, one or two. But that's the issue I have with this whole series, is that they're still breaking some of the established military protocols of Star Trek. And that's the big problem. Oh, they actually want to discipline her. This is the episode where she's going to get promoted, isn't it? Because you know that's going to happen. It was in their Comic-Con spoilers, so we know that's going to happen anyway. He even says, oh, well, you couldn't just transfer her off the ship. And the mother's like, yeah, oh, we're just going to give her all the crappy jobs and make her want to leave. Make her think it's her idea. You know what? She's probably smarter than you. She probably already knows that's happening, right? You're like, oh yeah, she needs more responsibility. That's what we know. I already got spoilers for this. And it wouldn't be that hard to see anyway, because these episodes you can smell them coming a mile away. So I know that they're trying to do this and go this route to give this character some growth so that she does not be such a screw. But when you're breaking Star Trek to do it again, I started having more fun playing with green mint M&Ms and the green screen. Just going, ooh, I can see through the hole in my head. I know I have several already, but this show, just because I zone out and because I tune out, it's hard to pay attention to. I guess they're doing some sort of, a Bajoran meditation thing, and yet Green Tilly coming in, and is this Bajoran? I don't even know. Is he Vulcan? The issue I have with this, it's so, like, when a green M&M is more interesting. Ooh, I can make myself disappear, and the green screen behind me is more interesting than what's on screen. I think that's your problem. And but like I said, if they could fix a lot of these issues of, the annoying characters and kind of realize that no, they wouldn't have this kind of growth, but they would have other growth. They would have growth in perfectionism and realizing that you cannot be perfect at all times. They would have those sort of growth moments, growth in learning to forgive themselves and be human. And I know that's what they were trying for in Discovery, and I know that's going to be very similar story arcs to Discovery. But here's the thing. I'm trying to look at this from the point of view of a lot of the people who do like this. Also, because I've been talking to a lot of people who do actually like this. If they could fix some of the little things that, like, okay, technically this would be wrong with Star Trek, and technically you still need these things. This one would at least have a shot and not being the worst. But right now it's the worst just because it's so annoying. And when it's not annoying, it's boring. Don't be annoying, don't be boring. And that's kind of how I review stuff. Is it what I'm expecting? Because I think I see things from this consumer advocacy point of view. Is it what I'm expecting? If you've got Star Trek on, like, okay, if I see this bag of M&Ms, like I said, which is so cool with the green screen, by the way. I know, the magic is broken in the fourth wall. If I have the bag of mint M&Ms, right, and I open it up, and it's not mint M&Ms, but it's like peanut M&Ms, which I know I'm not a fan of, but I know other people are, right, or M&Ms with almonds or something. I'm going to be pretty disappointed. I'm going to be complaining about it, even though there's some potential there, and it is something that some people like. It's still not what was printed on the bag for me, and still not what I personally want. Well, that was a good analogy. You know what? I think I deserve something. What do I deserve? All right. A clip from Revenge of the Nerds. Sure. I don't know I guess I gotta finish reviewing this now. Oh, I don't want to finish watching this. Oh, and of course she just trips all over. It was a 2-year representation of his inner calm. It's a meditation thing. He flips out on her. Just like I said, screw-ups wouldn't really thrive for very long, or they would fix it pretty quickly to be out in space in a situation where they might endanger people's lives. Since I have to check this now, I might as well give you guys something happy to watch after I complain about the fact that they literally gave her the job of holodeck jizz mopper. They bleeped it, but I'll say it because, fine. Holodeck jizz mopper. Yeah. Holiday. And the captain was confused. Oh, they did that. So that was one of the jobs that they gave to try and make her transfer, because this is this is like a 1980s sitcom. This is a 1980s sitcom. Leave it to Star Trek. That's what it feels like. Can we just not have the mother-daughter in the direct chain of command, please? Please, okay, because that would be one way to fix this. They don't want to fix this, though. They just want to annoy me. Now the next piece that's really, really annoying. This reminds me of modern day society. People don't know when to just stop. People don't know when to leave something alone. People don't need, like, this chick, this Green Tilly. All right, butt out. It's none of your business. You already made something bad. Okay, don't keep forcing your will on somebody who might not want to hear you preach at them and fix them. That's one of the biggest problems with modern day Star Trek. They do this constantly. She has her own quarters that are huge. She has her own huge freaking quarters. But favoritism much. This is why she wouldn't. I would complain. I would complain. I would be Kavanaugh complaining back to Earth about Dr. Weir not doing a very good job. That's who I would be on this ship. And that's a Stargate reference. Oh, failing upwards, are we? Failing upwards again. We're failing upwards and getting rewarded for bad behavior. And he even says, oh, so you like it when they break rule. Yeah, so she just got rewarded for being horrible. And that's the message of the show, is the worse you do, the better, like, the more you get sympathy because you were incompetent and incapable. This is not a society that would work to go to the star. That's why aliens don't land. I'll just tell you right now. That is 100% why the aliens will not land. It is because we are rewarding people for failing. We are rewarding people for being terrible people and being terrible at their jobs. Like Alex Kurtzman and J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy and all these people. We're just rewarding them constantly. And that's not how you interact with the rest of the universe.
Are they harbingers of world change? Secrets in the field. Secrets in the field.
Anytime I need to calm down, I just gotta center myself and be one with the galaxy and the universe, and that's not the message of Star Trek anymore, that's for sure. It's, yeah, fail upwards, be a horrible screw-up, and you can fail. Or, just be completely insufferable. Oh, and make a Not the Bees reference here. That's the other one that they did.
Stop it! Don't come near me anymore. You don't get to be the hero here because you are the villain.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's the thing. People who force their will on other people and make you believe what they want you to believe, or else are the villain. They're the villain. Stop rewarding it. Stop rewarding bad behavior, humanity, and then maybe the aliens will finally land so we can get off of this planet for once. But now I gotta watch more Lower Decks, and because how far am I? About halfway through. I'm about halfway through. Yay. Hey, remember that holodeck episode of Next Generation with Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes?
Oh, I'll report to bridge duty, and they'll get exactly what they deserve. What? Oh, nothing. No, the holodeck. Moriarty. Exactly what they deserve.
Yeah, so he's now realizing that bad behavior is being rewarded, yada yada. I'm so tired of member berries. It's member berries, it's references.
Remember Alex? Remember Ghostbusters? Oh, I remember.
And now the Telluride captain and his ship. So you get some Star Trek stuff where they're both using their tractor beams and stuff to stabilize. I tune out to the stuff that I would normally want to watch. That's the problem with it. This is stuff I would want to watch normally, right? So the Telluride captain's like, I don't answer to you because our first officer or navigator, I don't even know, is like, hey, you're out of formation. Telluride captain is on the other ship. I don't answer to you. So now all the sludge is gonna. Oh. That. See, this is Star Trek. This is what I would like. I don't like, hearing her call her captain a dick. Alright, so the thing spreads to the Cerritos, and yeah, so he decides now to act up and pour hot coffee in the lap of his commanding officer. But of course, this stuff where they're at each other's throats because we have Michael Burnham 2.0. This is exactly what happened in the first episode of Discovery, where Michael Burnham knew best, went against her captain, even though, and the captain, don't forget, Captain Georgia was supposed to be her surrogate mother, because Michael Burnham just was adopted, going around getting adopted by everybody in the freaking galaxy, between Sarek, between everybody. So somebody has mommy issues who wrote whatever fanfic that they probably ripped off all this stuff from in the first place. So Michael Burnham version 2 does the exact same thing where she knows best and wants to argue and yeah, they're basically arguing that she knows best. Oh, it is not on my watch. It is literally on your watch. They're both insufferable, and this is the same mother-daughter relationship that Michael Burnham had with her natural mother, by the way, who they introduced in season 2. Yeah, so of course she knows best, and that is the issue that I have with the show, is that our unlikable, incompetent characters, I can't root for these people. I cannot root for any of these people. I can't even root for the one Boemler guy who's pouring coffee on it. Like, see, and that's the problem, is you're going around spreading this hate and negativity into the galaxy, into the universe, when you write this stuff, right? When you don't reward happy and start promoting the less conflict, right? Here we go. I'm going to another sci-fi reference in my head. This is more Shadow and less Vorlon. And don't get me wrong, I can root on the side of the Shadows sometimes, but that's more chaos, right? The Vorlons are a little more order and rules, and I think you kind of need a little bit of a balance. You can't swing one way all the way to the other all the time, and sometimes you got to kind of evolve beyond some of the way that they're preaching here. You got to evolve beyond this conflicting, combative stuff, and my mind's all over the place on this one. That's what happens, is I start to drift, and I start to go places that are a little, I guess, transcendental. Oh no, that's not even a word. My point is, this makes me angry watching it. It makes me angry. I do not like this whole message of their reward. And if they don't fix it at the end, then I'm going to be really, really annoyed. But that's the problem, is that they set all this stuff up and they still glorify it. You're still glorifying these characters because at where they're at, they have already gone through this stuff. So that's a fundamental problem wrong with this modern day Star Trek. All right, so I can give them credit for this. They finally talk out while they're in the middle of dying. You know, he used his ascension, his little religious thing that he was doing to stand out. She was she was trying so hard because she wanted to be liked, and she can't stand people not liking her. All right. I can see and relate some of that to real life and real world situations. I'm gonna go easy on that, because that is a little Star Trek. They're just using a horrible way to get there. They're using a really exaggerated, irritating, annoying way to get there. And just one little conversation and talking it out about how they both are just trying to be liked, right? That's something that you kind of go through when you're 12 in Star Trek. And it's still really missing the point of where they should be at this level if they're out there on a second contact sort of ship. But I can give them first season. I can give them a first season pass on that at least with these two characters, they fixed that. But still, you don't tell these sort of stories. This is something that they would have gone through much younger, before they were in Starfleet. And they go on like this for a while. This is sped up because copyright. They go on for a while. This is one of those things that just makes me bang my head against the rock. Go, shut up. Of course they have to kiss. I thought she was supposed to be ending up with Cyborg or something. He's barely in this one. So the guy who's trying to ascend, who is pretending to ascend, he actually does start ascending now, and he doesn't like it, and they make this, it burns joke for like 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah, and he doesn't want to. He's gonna be one with you. So okay, the ascension thing, I thought that was from Stargate. I don't remember it really being in Star Trek also, but I've just had Stargate on the brain recently because I really enjoy that, and I'm no longer enjoying Star Trek so much. So, yeah. So they just spend the last act making fun of the Admiral for saying sensors, and he basically berates her.
Are you really making fun of me? Admiral, no. I thought we came to an understanding. Maybe you need to adjust your sensor. You should have stopped.
Yeah, see, that's my problem with this show, is it's so disrespectful. And that's one of those reoccurring Star Trek things where they'll say sensors instead of sensors, like normal people who just speak with whatever accent they have. Right. That's a Star Trek trope. I get it. It's kind of a goofy one, but to have it pointed out on the show in such a disrespectful way is, again, just another shot at Star Trek. What the crap? Seriously, this is what's wrong with this show in its entirety. This is Ghostbusters 2016 all over again. Anytime you have something that is kind of like Star Trek, you gotta take a shot at it. Just stop! So how do I score this? I mean, visually still looks like Star Trek, that you're still getting the spirit of the show wrong. And, well, they can't fix it now. They've already written and recorded all of these and filmed them. Maybe in season 2 they'll get it better, but season 1, like, they're not going to fix the issues that I have with the show for season 1. So, yeah, I guess I gotta give this a 2 out of 10. It just craps all over Star Trek at every chance, at every turn, while doing its best to be Star Trek, or try to be Star Trek, without wanting to be. It's that irritating coworker who doesn't want to be your coworker and does the bare minimum they can to not be fired. That is Lower Decks. It is that person. So I can't judge it for anything other than that. It looks like Star Trek. It just doesn't sound like it. It doesn't act like it. I mean, everything else looks like it should be there, except for, the characters, except for their attitudes, except for their motivations. So yeah, Lower Decks, just stop. This is not a show I recommend. If you don't really like Star Trek and don't mind us taking shots at Star Trek, or want to treat it like a parody or turn off your brain, that's fine. I'm not saying anybody can't. But for me, it's not going to get any better, I don't think. So, yeah, maybe 2 out of 10. No, I'll bump it up to 3 or 4. I'll do 4 for these two who kind of had some growth in this at some point, even though they got there in a really, really irritating. Fine, 4. We'll do a 4 just to appease people, because I can recognize the growth of these two characters. I am MechaRandom42, and I will see you guys on the next video, live stream, or wherever. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!